After watching Chelsea beat Real Sociedad 3-1 at Stamford Bridge, there are so many things I picked up on. And if you're a Chelsea fan who has spent years being frustrated with Pedro Neto, it might genuinely be time to start appreciating him, because he looks like he's about to become a real weapon in the zombie Alonso wing-back system. And the numbers from this preseason are already backing that up. Morgan Rogers opened the scoring on his full debut, poking home a rebound after João Pedro's initial header was saved before Real Sociedad leveled right on half-time through a stunning John Henry volley from the edge of the box. Chelsea responded brilliantly after the break, dominating possession and territory in a way that never really showed in that opening 45 minutes, with João Pedro grabbing a brace, first heading home from Maurice James' cross just 2 minutes into the second half, then finishing calmly in a one-on-one to seal it late on. That was Chelsea's final warm-up before the new Premier League season kicks off against Fulham, and honestly, there's a lot to take from this performance beyond just the scoreline. Here are 5 things I learned from the game. Welcome back to the channel. Whether you're a Chelsea fan buzzing about that back three system, a Fulham fan scouting what's coming their way in a week's time, or just someone who loves a good tactical breakdown before a new season kicks off, let me know which country you're watching from and drop your prediction for the Fulham match in the comments. If you're new here, hit subscribe, tap that like button, and turn on notifications, because we're covering every twist of this new Chelsea era all season long. First, let's talk about Pedro Neto as a wingback, because this finally feels like the role he was always meant to play. We all know the criticism Neto has faced as a traditional winger. His output has genuinely been overwhelming for a player of his reputation, the type who gives you 6 to 10 goals a season, rather than the 20 cost fans expect from a top winger costing serious transfer money. But as a wingback, none of that matters anymore. He doesn't need to cut inside and finish chances himself. All he needs to do is get up and down that flank relentlessly, spamming dangerous crosses into the box, and use his genuine pace and dribbling to create for João Pedro, Rogers, and Palmer instead of trying to be the one on the end of the chances himself. Against Real Sociedad, his delivery from the right directly led to Chelsea's opening chance that Rogers eventually turned home. And this isn't a one-off either. He's now been directly involved in goals across back-to-back preseason matches from that exact position. Is this finally the system that gets the best out of him? Let me know what you think in the comments. Second, and staying on the wingback theme, this role could genuinely become one of Alonso's biggest tactical weapons this season because of the sheer variety of profiles he has available to fill it. Neto has now been directly involved in goals across back-to-back preseason games from that position, and Marco Palestra has also looked electrifying whenever deployed as a wing-back throughout preseason, showing real quality on the ball and genuine attacking instincts. On top of that, Chelsea have also added Pep Travaglia from Rayo Vallecano, and they still have Valentin Bocco in reserve, both of whom offer genuine attacking threat from that role too. Believe me, Alonso is going to cause real problems for opponents with this system, because he essentially has 2 completely different types of wingback available depending on the specific game plan he needs. Against a tough, possession-heavy opponent like Arsenal or Manchester City, he can turn to more defensively responsible options like Malo Gusto, Joel Hato, or Reece James for extra protection against quick transitions. Against a team that sits back in a low block and invites pressure, he can unleash more attacking options like Neto, Palestra, or Barco to stretch the play and overload the width, forcing defenses to make impossible choices about who to track. Third, keep an eye on Reece James this season, because he's about to become genuinely special in this system. James can now, realistically, play 3 completely different positions for Alonso: right back in a 4-2-3-1, right wing back in a 3-4-2-1, or even centre back in that same back 3 shape if injuries or rotation demanded. Whatever role he's asked to fill, he consistently delivers quality on both sides of the ball. And having that level of positional versatility from your captain gives any manager a genuine tactical advantage across a long, physically demanding season with games coming thick and fast. Fourth, Morgan Rogers looks like he's going to thrive in this Alonso system. This was literally his first appearance in a Chelsea shirt, and you could already see his quality all over the pitch from the opening whistle. He created 3 genuine chances and scored the opening goal from a well-timed rebound, operating as part of a double number 10 alongside Cole Palmer, playing centrally and just behind Joao Pedro rather than out wide. We already knew what Rogers could do from that number 10 role at his previous club. The vision, the movement, and the composure in the final third. And based on this performance, we're about to see a lot more of it throughout this season. That kind of instant chemistry on a debut in a completely new system with new teammates is a genuinely promising sign for Chelsea fans heading into the campaign. Fifth, and this might be the biggest takeaway of them all, Joao Pedro is becoming one of the most dangerous, complete strikers anywhere in world football right now. This wasn't a one-off performance either. It's becoming a genuine pattern that shows up match after match. He can score with his head from crosses, exactly like his opener against Real Sociedad, and against the same thing against AC Milan earlier in pre-season, and also last season against both Fulham and West Ham, proving it's a genuine strength rather than a lucky moment. He can finish calmly in one-on-one situations with the goalkeeper too, which is exactly how he wrapped up his second goal against Sociedad, staying composed under pressure rather than rushing to finish. And he scored plenty of similar goals throughout last season as well. He's even become increasingly comfortable scoring from outside the box when the opportunity presents itself, adding yet another layer to his game. A striker who can genuinely hurt you in multiple different ways. In the air, through the middle, and from distance, is exactly the kind of complete forward that wins matches on his own, and Joao Pedro is proving week after week that he belongs in that conversation among the league's elite. So what does all of this actually mean heading into the Fulham game? Expect Alonso to stick with that same 3-4-3 shape that worked so well at Bayern Leverkusen, where he won the Bundesliga back in 2024. With Neto and James providing width and attacking threat from wingback, Caicedo controlling the base of midfield alongside either Enzo Fernandez or Marco Palestra, and Rogers, Palmer, and Joao Pedro rotating through those front 3 positions with real fluidity between them. Fulham are going to have their hands full trying to figure out who to actually mark, because this Chelsea attack has multiple different ways of hurting you, from crosses out wide to combination play through the middle. Of course, it's worth remembering this was still just a pre-season friendly, and Premier League football brings a completely different level of intensity, physicality, and quality. Fulham will offer a considerably stiffer defensive test than Real Sociedad did in that first half. And Alonso will need his side to carry that same sharpness they showed after the break into a competitive fixture that actually counts toward the table. But based on everything we saw in this performance, there is genuine reason for optimism heading into the new season, both in terms of the system and the individual players executing it. So here's my question for you. Out of everything we talked about today, what excites you most heading into the Fulham game? The wingback system, Morgan Rogers' instant impact for Joao Pedro's growing reputation as one of the best strikers in the league? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and if you want to catch every twist of this new Chelsea era as the season unfolds, make sure you're subscribed, the like button is right there, and turn on notifications, because the Premier League season starts now.